and B-Day students. It's good to meet you guys. My name is David Potts. I'm from the STEM Academy right here in Chatham, and I'm here with my associate, Miss Olivia McCraw, that you just heard from. And we are here to talk about an exciting new STEM opportunity for you guys that's going to start next year, but registration and applications for it start very, very soon. So you guys remember STEM as something that in 5th grade through 9th grade, you come a couple of times a semester, you do some cool labs, and you learn some neat stuff, and then you head on back to your base school. But we are changing the focus of STEM. Right now, you guys get to do some really cool things in the GoTech lab at your middle school, and then there's some really good opportunities for you in 11th and 12th grade. But there hasn't been much for the county students to do for 9th and 10th grade. So we are shifting the STEM Academy from just coming a couple of times a year to all 9th and 10th graders. And here's the way it would work. If you become a member of the STEM Academy, if you apply and are admitted into the STEM Academy, one semester during your freshman year, and then one semester during your sophomore year, you would come to us for 2 periods a day to do 2 science classes and 2 electives. So we're going to get into those classes and those electives a little bit later, but I want to talk about first how you would apply. If you hear something you really like today and you're interested in applying, we want to take you through how to apply, and then at the end we'll review that again after we get all of you guys questions about our presentation. Okay, so if you're looking up on the screen, we have an online application. This is a form off the STEM website. It's easy to find. You just Google STEM Academy Chatham, or you go to the county website and put STEM in, and we will pop up. And our application is on there. We'll show you the website here in a bit. But you fill it in, and this is mostly just to tell us that you are interested in the STEM Academy. It's not a binding agreement. It's a very simple form. It tells us who you are, where you're from, and which pathway that you're the most interested in pursuing. And then after that, next week, your school counselor will have packets for you that have some things that you need to get to teachers to help you with. We need 2 teacher recommendations, actually 2 recommendations, and one of them is a teacher. The first form, you're going to take it to either an 8th grade teacher that you have now, or you can take it to a 7th grade teacher that taught you last year, and you come up and you say, hey, I'm really interested in applying to the STEM Academy. Would you mind filling out this recommendation form for me? I'm really interested in what they've got going on. And your teacher would be like, oh yeah, I'll fill that out for you. You're the best, because that's the way all teachers are, because they're awesome, and they're going to help you out if you're really interested in coming here. So you'll give the form to them, they'll fill it out, and then they will give it to your school counselor. Now, the second form, you can give it to anyone else in the school. You can give it to a teacher. You can give it to a coach. You can give it to a club sponsor, an admin. You can give it to a counselor, somebody else in the school that knows you well and knows your interests, and you think knows you well enough to fill out a form for you. So the first form, first recommendation would go to a current teacher or a teacher from last year. And then your second form would go to anybody that you choose inside of your school there. All right. And then the third form is for the school counselors. They'll probably just take that one off and they'll keep a hold of that one. And then when your other stuff comes back, they'll put it all together and they'll send it over here to us at STEM. So that's the application process. We're hoping to get all that done by March the 15th, the middle of March, the Ides of March, if you will. Yeah, you like that literary reference, not bad. We're cross-curricular here at STEM. So March the 15th is what we're looking for. And I know that seems really, really quick, but when you see how simple it is to apply to the STEM Academy, I think you're going to realize this is something I can easily do. All right, let's hop right to the pathways. So you've got 2 options, 2 different pathways when you come to STEM. They're related, but they also have their own things going on. One is health and medical sciences. This covers anybody that's interested in becoming a doctor, a nurse, a physical therapist, a pathologist, a lab technician, a veterinarian, somebody in the animal sciences. Anything that has something to do with health and with medicine is all covered on the health and medical sciences side. All right. The other pathway is called Advanced Career Connections. That's a little bit different. What that's more related to is, if you guys are familiar with VOTEC, PCTC, they have 19 different career pathways, 19 different programs that you can study during your junior and your senior year. But 9th and 10th grade, you don't get to investigate very many of those things at your base schools. So we're giving you an opportunity to investigate those things here so that you can make a good choice for your future. And Ms. McCraw, are we going to call up the different possibilities there, or is that later on? All right, we're going to look through a few of those advanced career connections things. We'll hop out. Won't be but a second. Lots of different opportunities there. You've got everything from cars, auto body, to computers and computer programming, cosmetology, culinary arts, electricity, horticulture, growing plants, all kinds of cool stuff, 19 different things, teachers for tomorrow. We're talking about a wide variety of career options. And what's cool about the STEM Academy is you'll be able to investigate those things and use some of the equipment and the machinery and the tools and learn some of the skills for those places and decide which ones you might like best. And it will hopefully give you a leg up and an idea of what you might want to do with your junior and senior year in high school. All right, so when we hop back, those are our two pathways. So let's talk about your 9th grade year. So one of the biggest differences at STEM is that instead of taking earth science your freshman year, you'll be taking environmental science with us. So earth science, you're dealing with the rocks and that kind of geology, and a little bit of astronomy and a little bit of meteorology. It's got a little bit of everything. But environmental science sets you up. You talk about a combination of so many things. Environmental science sets you up for literally any other science that you want to take when you're in high school. And what's cool about our environmental science class is we have a grant-funded lab. We're going to have state-of-the-art equipment with all kinds of neat stuff so that we can explore not only the environment around us, but the environment for the entire world. We've got drone technology where we can do flyovers and do agricultural surveys in our local area here. We've got solar trainers where we can figure out how solar power works and how much power it generates and how much do we need to get and what happens on a cloudy day. We've got renewable and alternative energy kits where we explore all the different ways that we can use these alternative energy sources like hydroelectric and wind turbines, all these cool things. And maybe my favorite option is the STEM Academy is going to have personal laptops. You guys are going to have your own computer that when you come to us, we check it out to you. Not only do you use it here at STEM, but then you can take it back to your base school, you can take it home. And so that it's going to open that up for you to be able to use things and have your own personal laptop that you can use for school during your 9th and 10th grade years. So if you're interested in hands-on labs, lots of stuff where it's yes, we're doing educational things, but it's very much in a lab type setting. And if you like dealing with the real world, this is the environmental science class for you. Okay, now depending on which career pathway you choose, if you choose health and medical sciences, your first elective class will be Introduction to Health and Medical Sciences. This is where you do a little bit of everything that has to do with these things. It's some terminology, some anatomy, some pathology, just a little bit of everything that introduces you to all the different fields and careers and things that can happen in the health and medical sciences. If you go the career connections route, again, you'll start looking at those pathways, those 19 different things with all kinds of simulators and instruments and things that you learn how to do so that you can make an informed choice about what you might want to do with your junior and senior year, or even maybe as a career after that. Then in 10th grade, now 10th grade, everyone does take biology. That's everyone in the county. And yes, you will take the biology SOL. You'll take it with us. It'll count for your base school, but you'll take it with us. What might be different about our biology class, though, is the focus and then how many labs we do. We're going to have much more of a focus on human body and animal sciences. You will have already covered so much of the environmental the year before. That leaves us more time to deal with the human body and stuff like that. And Ms. McCraw and I are both really into microbiology. In fact, that's our side hustle. We work at Vista Labs doing COVID samples. So microbiology, we do lots of things with incubators and growing bacteria and fungal samples and looking at them under the microscopes, and that we really like those kinds of things. And we've got all kinds of new stuff for doing genetics labs, gel electrophoresis, PCR kits. We use PCR kits, and when we were trying to figure out whether you're positive or negative for COVID. So if you've had that swab in your nose the last 8 months, there's a really good chance that Miss McCraw and I saw your snot on a stick. So if you're looking for a personal connection, there it is. Probably not the personal connection you were wanting to make, but there it is. We're also, both of us like to dissect. We both have a big time, she has an entomology background, I have a zoology background, so both of us are very much into comparative anatomy. So it's not just human body, it's also animal sciences. Both of us are interested in biochem, so lots of chemistry woven into our biology. And then, of course, we're going to have that human body focus. For the folks in the health and medical sciences, you're going to get a strong dose of that in the biology class as well. Now, for your electives during your 10th grade year, if you're on the health and human, if you're on the health side, you would take medical terminology, which is all kinds of scientific stuff added with anatomy. So it's like the next level, because these are sequential electives. This is something you need to graduate from high school, so you can get that here at STEM. And then on the advanced career connection side, you see an upgrade to the cool stuff that you get to do in the different simulations. A whole lot more things that will be based through your computer, lots more cool simulations, and I think you'll be impressed by some of the things available to you. All right. And maybe outside of laptops, the things that Ms. McCraw and I are very excited about is called Project Innovate. This is over your 2 years while you're here. We're looking for a 2-year commitment from you guys. Is you pick a topic that interests you, something that you are curious about, and we help you with how to research it, how to find the answers to your questions, how to perform scientific experiments to test, to figure out what you want to do. And not only do we help you here at STEM, but we're going to use our community connections as well. Let's say you're interested in soil science. Maybe you have a farming background. We have a community partner right across the street at Southern States that helps us do soil analysis, so we can figure out what types of things would grow in different types of soil, what kind of fertilizers would you use, what kind of crops would you want to rotate. And you can do experiments where you use different types of soil to grow different types of things to see how that works. If you're interested in gummy bears, we have a partnership with Bioengineered Pharmaceuticals. They're a company that makes vegan gummy bears. They're plant-based gummy bears that deliver vitamins in the gummy bears. It's located right over there near you guys in Ringgold, if you didn't know. A nice NC State guy runs it. Go Pack. And if you're interested in stuff like that, we have a community connection. We want you guys to connect to the community around you, the real world, and use experts in these different fields to help you with what you are interested in. So Project Innovate is student driven, it's student selected, and hopefully we can find something that you would really enjoy doing. All right. So where can STEM take you? Number one, if you're on the advanced career connections pathway, or if you take a couple of the medical classes, you could use that and take it to PCTC over to Votech. They've got 19 different pathways. It's like the menu at Cheesecake Factory. They've got all kinds of stuff to catch your interest. If you're interested in engineering and building and models and designs, you can go to AET. STEM is a good setup to take you to AET. If you're looking for maybe a higher route to take you to secondary schools, Governor School is a great option, and STEM is also going to prepare you for those things. We're going to have a big concentration on helping you with ACT and SAT prep within what we do normally, and that might help you if you're on the high academic trail, or if you're just looking to go back to your base school and follow your interest there. STEM is a perfect way to get out of the building for a little bit, experience something a little new, and then if you head back to your base school, no problem for your next 2 years. You're not going to miss out on any of the experiences at your normal school. It won't affect your clubs. It won't affect your sports. All those things you'll still do at your base school. You'll just come to see us for 2 periods during your freshman year and 2 periods during your sophomore year. All right, I think it's about time for questions. Teachers, you guys had some great questions yesterday. Feel free to put those same questions in since we have a different group of kids if I haven't covered them. And then kids, tell your teachers the questions. They'll put them in the chat box and we'll get everything. How much does it cost? STEM is free to students. It doesn't cost you a thing. We are grant funded over here. and the bus will pick you up in the morning at your base school, bring you to us. When will we get to STEM? Ninth graders, you guys will probably, as our schedule sits right now, you will probably come to us in the morning, either in the fall semester or the spring semester. I can't tell you which one yet because we don't know. You could be in either, but you'll come to us for 2 periods in the morning, and then you'll go back to your base school in the afternoon. And then when you're in 10th grade, you would come to us in the afternoon for 2 periods and then back to your base school. Will this help with college? Almost certainly. We're starting this. The governor has a STEM initiative where he is trying to push STEM into the schools, and being part of a new academy like this and putting it on your resume when you're going to colleges, it'll definitely be something that you can base all of your essays on and most of your education, the rest of your high school career on. And it's going to help you prepare for your standardized tests. So do I think STEM would help with college? Absolutely. Other questions? Keep them coming. Do you have to be in it for both years? Yes, we are looking for a 2-year commitment. Now, obviously, there may be some possibilities that someone comes over here for a year, and for some reason that I absolutely can't foresee, they might not want to go back for a second year. And I'm assuming there will be a possibility for that, but I am guessing that the majority of folks that come over here, once you're here for a year, you're going to want to come back for a second year. Keep them coming. All kinds of good questions. No bad questions today. I'm on a roll. Let's see, possibly becoming a veterinarian. Are there vet possibilities? Absolutely. Like I say, Miss McCraw and I both have an extensive background in animal sciences. So, yes, this would be a great start to becoming a veterinarian. You could either channel it back into your base school through some of the ag classes there, obviously to your science classes above this, or you could take it to PCTC to their animal sciences program. So, yes, there are lots of connections to being a veterinarian. And we also have a community partnership with a vet clinic here, if that's what your research, if that's where your research interests are, is we have a community partnership with a veterinary clinic. Hmm.
There's a question about grades, Mr. Potts. Will
Let's
they be
see.
considered as part of getting into the STEM Academy?
Grades are not the #1 factor for getting into the STEM Academy. Are good grades, does that make your application look good? Of course, sure it does. But we're looking for a wide swath of Pennsylvania County. So grades are not the only determining factor, and they're certainly not the #1 factor. Your interest level in the program is #1, and then what your teachers say on their teacher recommendations. If they know that you just need a different environment, if they know you have a passion for something that we're offering here at STEM, that's more important than the grades that you've gotten up until this point. So are grades a small factor? Yes. Are they the factor? No. We're open to everybody. Let's see, will it interfere with sports? Not at all. You're not going to have any issues. You can play whatever sports at your base school that you want. That will not interfere with them at all. If they have more questions, okay. Next week, we're going to have parent meetings. It'll be an evening meeting. And if your folks have any questions, they can be addressed during that. We're going to give our STEM spiel, and then they can ask us questions at the parent meeting. That link will be on the STEM website next week. But if they have questions before then, they can email me, david.potts, or Ms. McCraw, olivia.mccraw. They can call us here at the STEM Academy. They can send us an email, and we want everyone's questions to be answered. Let's see. If students, I'm reading through the
Attendance
questions.
policy is the same.
The attendance, yes, it'll be exactly the same as your base school. We use Pennsylvania County attendance policy. Will students register for STEM during 9th grade registration? Yes, sir, Mr. Nick. Just this morning, Ms. Vaughn that you've heard chime in here, met with the guidance counselors, the school counselors from all your schools, and she's explained the registration process through them. They will be doing it over the next couple of weeks with their normal registration. All right, did I hit everything in the chat box so far? Keep them coming. Great questions, guys. Applications, March 15th is when we would like to have the applications in. We know that process has started at all the middle schools and at the high schools. So March 15th is our target date. Ms. Vaughn will be in contact with school counselors if there are any changes to that date. But that gives almost 3 weeks to get a simple online application done and to get a couple of teacher recommendations. It seems like a lot, but I think once you get it, will the same grading system scale? Yes, we're on the same scale as a normal school would be. Yes. All right, other questions? Mr. Nick, your folks are outdoing themselves. Good questions today. Any questions from the kids in the audience? Anybody want to tell me how good my haircut looks? I know it looks good. All right. Mr. Green, we have a classic look. That's what I like to say. A classic look. All right. Well, if there are, Mr. Nick, question?
Yeah, I just want to thank you and your team with Ms. Vaughn for all of y'all's valuable information and expertise. Again, I had the chance to go to governor's school when I was in high school, and I declined because I was not informed. And then I actually got to teach at governor's school before coming here. So again, I know sometimes you like to stay at home in your base school where you're with friends, but again, this is a very unique and I think excellent opportunity for our students to take advantage of, to not only learn new trades in a digital age, but also to mingle with other students from other schools. So again, I just
Yeah, and
echo, thank y'all.
I like your point, Mr. Nick, about an opportunity to look outside your base school. And this is only half the commitment of a place like Governor's School or AET or PCTC. This is 2 classes in your freshman year and 2 classes in your sophomore year. It's an interesting way to get out in the community and learn, take advantage of an opportunity. And yes, we're trying to get everybody on board. How many students can go each semester? All right, we do not have, what I can tell you, Ms. Barber, about how many students is our class sizes are capped at 18. So we are looking for an incoming freshman class total of 72 possible. That would be 36 in the fall and 36 in the spring, with 18 kids in each class. That's our maximum, our ideal maximum. Now, will the classes be that size? I'm not sure, but the classes are capped at 18 students per class. It cannot go higher than that. They will get the small class experience. They will get a hands-on experience here at STEM. There are no lockers at STEM. So this will be one of those places where you come with your book bag and we'll figure out those. We've been calling those the weeds, the small questions, but will we have lockers here? No. Will we have a place for you to keep your stuff safely? Yes. Hmm? All right, any other questions before I review the application process? Again, super impressed with the questions. Thank you guys for thoughtful questions. All right, well, let's go back to the application process and make sure everybody knows what's up. Ms. McCraw is going to take us to the website. When you go to the STEM Academy website on the county site, you'll see where it says apply here. When you click on the apply here, that's going to take you to a link to the online application underneath the pretty picture. When you click on it, you're going to be shocked and surprised by how easy it is. Your parents can read through some of this. If that doesn't answer their questions, again, next week, if you check back to the same site, you'll see a link for going to the parent meeting next week. So it's just the basics: your name, what school you attend, what grade you're going to be in, and which pathway that you would prefer. That's just going to tell us that you're interested. It's not a binding agreement. just tells us that you're interested. That's like, hey, you know, Tammy from Dan River Middle is really interested in STEM, which would be great. And then for the second part of the application process, you'll get that from your school counselor next week. That'll be actual paper in your hands. One teacher recommendation will go to your either a current teacher or one of your 7th grade teachers, and then the other recommendation will go to someone else that knows you within the school. Will we be doing group and partner projects? I am hoping that by August, when all this kicks off, that we're going to be in at least a semi post-COVID environment, because yes, a large part of STEM is based on group work, partner projects. Obviously, we'll adhere to whatever rules our school system tells us to adhere to with the health regulations, but we have definitely designed STEM for a post-COVID world. Yes, it's all about collaboration and partnership and working together, and I'm hoping we're able to do that starting in August. All right, any other questions, folks?
And you can also tell your parents when they go to the STEM website, there is information on that as well. It has a brochure that can tell your parents more about it. It's under Learn More. So you or your parent can go there to learn more as well. So, you know, just wanted you to know all that information is there too.
Can you get kicked? I'll feel that one, Ms. Vaughn.
Ms. Vaughn being a former principal, right?
Yes.
We adhere to Pennsylvania County Schools regulations and policies. And if someone disobeys or doesn't follow the rules and regulations, there could be a possibility. But we would hope and believe you're going to be so engaged and so excited about the work you're doing that you're not going to think about any other thing, and that it's going to be a positive place for you, a place you'll enjoy, a place you can learn in a different style. So we don't go in with the negative looking for issues, because we think like all teachers, we're going to try to offer things that would make you want to be there and stay there.
Yeah, I think you'll find most of the county's offerings for these programs, PCTC, AET, GovSchool, and STEM included, yeah, problems that might get you drummed out of somewhere. It's just something that doesn't exist very often at these pull-out programs. People want to be here, and we're going to make sure that you want to continue to be here. All right, any other questions before we sign off?
Thank you all for your time for these last 2 days.
Ooh,
it is
Mr. Green's got one more.
Mr. Green.
He got the best questions. We have the same haircut, and he types as fast as I do. Will there be any additional supplies that students need? All students will need to bring with them to the STEM Academy are just the very, very basics. We're going to provide everything else. That's the whole point, is that we have all the equipment, all the supplies, all the things that they'll need. It'll just be the most basic things possible: notebooks, pens, pencils. That's about it.
Also, at your base school, if you take a science class, you have to pay a lab fee. It's a minimal fee. You have to pay it if you were at your base school. That lab fee will apply at STEM. I'm thinking it's, you know, I can't remember, $5 or something. It's not a lot, and you'd have to pay it at your other school as well. So that's no different.
That's countywide. Yes, ma'am. All right. Any other questions from folks? Okay. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. Thank you so much. You guys were a great audience with great questions. If you have any questions past here, remember david.potts at PCS or olivia.mccraw at PCS. Give us a holler. And yes, we see all the former Tunstals. Thank you, Miss Bunn, for the call out there. She knows what a fun environment it's going to be. Tell them, Miss Bunn. All right. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.